to Mailbag, answering your questions. We give some super thanks here, comments that come in on demand, and just like super chats, we give them credit to. Mighty Ant, Happy New Year, Tom, and Nody Gang. Everyone before the Nody game. What's your ideal draft for them boys? I got to see who turns pro. I got to see how your season plays out. Maybe some free agent stuff. Good news is this will be a video. Ideal draft class or ideal draft plan, an off-season plan it is planned to be done and will be done here on the show later on in the off-season. So I can't answer it now, but instead of a 30-second sound clip on a mailbag, it'll be an entire video for you, my friend. So make sure you are subscribed, just like Mighty Ant is. Free Cowboys videos all season and off-season long right here on the show. AF Guy 79. So we've been talking about McCarthy's play calling. Has Dak forgotten how to check out of plays? Surely smart enough to know we need to run the clock out, right? I think he's just as culpable as Mike. So I do think it's fair to say, yeah, your quarterback should do the right thing and make the call and save your bad head coaching play call. I am also this belief. We know that Dak checks a lot, especially at home. There is a lot of adjustments, and they kind of didn't check as much early on this year. That was one of the adjustments they made at the bye was we're going to do more checks at the line, where Dak is very, very competent, very good there. I also take the general mindset of if the answer, the solution, is to quarterback just save you and do it all, that probably means you actually have a head coaching issue. And that, banking on the quarterback saving everything, when he's not Tom Brady, is probably setting yourself up for failure as a team. But, yes, and Dak even took some blame post-game for it, too, against the Lions. He can do more there in that area. From Marcus Arnold, $5. Trade all the picks and next year's one for the number 2 spot and take Marvin Harrison Jr. Here's the crazy part. It's not enough. You can trade every pick this year and your first next year, and you're not going to get to number 2 because, you're paying quarterback premium there. Like number 2 is going to be like the Commanders. Let's say it's number 3 and it's the Cardinals. They're not going to pass on Marvin Harrison Jr. for pick 30 whatever and, a late second, a late third, no fourth, comp 6th, and a 7th. They're not going to do that. So it's a fun idea because you're right. Harrison's the best prospect in this year's class, but you're not going to be able to get up there. Chris Shiesty, if Gallup gets traded, who will the Cowboys trade for? Not convinced he's going to. It might just be a cut because he hasn't been that good. I would also say maybe Dallas just drafts somebody in a good receiver class and lets him and Tolbert compete for the wide receiver 3 job. You're going to have to pay Lamb. You're going to keep Cooks on a fairly affordable deal and pay him. I don't think they want to invest another contract at the wide receiver spot since I think they have regrets about doing it with Gallup and they didn't want to do it with Amari. Not saying I agree, but I think that's how the Cowboys would operate. All right, Darius Carter. Should Dallas have Trey Lance active this week? I don't think they will. Had you had nothing to play for this week, like had you lost and the Eagles won, I'd have started Trey Lance. But I think because you're fighting for the NFC's title, and knock on wood, hopefully this doesn't happen, something bad happens to your quarterback, you'd actually probably want to get rushed the reps then for the backup spot. So I don't think that will be the plan for the Dallas Cowboys. But what would you do? Would you plan to play at least Trey Lance against the Commanders? Maybe, it's a tight game and you can't do it, but would you want to have that option in your back pocket? Type P for you'd play him, S for you'd sit him. Tyler Madden, a super chat. Do you trust Aubrey, an NFL record 64-plus game winner? I think he has the leg for it. I would also say as great as our alien has been, spam the emoji in the comments section, I don't think you could trust anybody for a 64-plus game winner. Like, your odds of making that are very, very low. Not saying impossible. If I had to rank the kickers, he'd be top 2 with Justin Tucker, but that is still a lot to ask for any kicker. Chris B. Lyle Collins will take guard on Thursday. Thoughts? Interested by it. Adds more credence to the theory of this move was made because they want extra offensive line depth in light of the Tyler Smith injury. It's interesting because there was enough whispers and buzz and like, the Cowboys didn't think he could play left guard. They were even conflicting reports going into that of who knows where he's going to play, is going to be tackle or guard. I wonder if this is them testing. And I'm very curious what happens on Friday and Saturday and whatever, and even into the week after the Commanders game. Where does he play? Are they experimenting him at left guard and then going to try right tackle too to see how it's all going? Or is the plan he is your break in case of emergency left guard option? Could very well be true. I'm excited to see where else it goes. As far as practice squad players go, it's one of the more intriguing ones, I think, this year, outside of Joe Flacco in the NFL. Now, today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you do is you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. PrizePicks it's the largest independently owned DFS platform in North America. Can mix and match sports, by the way, NFL and NBA, NFL and the college football and national championship game as well. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. I'm riding again with the Dak Prescott passing yards more than. Does give me anxiety because this game should be over by halftime. But I also love Rachaad White and Kenneth Walker more than rushing yards. Not great run defenses they're playing in games their teams have to win. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Chris B., are you as scared as some fans playing the Rams? I'm not. I think this whole, I'd rather play the NFC South winner than the, Rams or whoever they're scared of. I think for one game, sure, I think you make that argument. It is so short-sighted. Are we really worried about just winning one game? Or are we trying to do more than that? Because the theory is if you beat the Bucs and the Rams are going to win, okay, so you're banking on other teams taking care of business for you. That's what we're saying. No, I want to be at home. Find me one NFL player who thinks, you know what, I would rather travel and go on the road than sleep in my own bed the night before a game. Doesn't exist. Look, the Rams are a good team. I'm not trying to slight them or anything. Give me the home games. If you can't beat the Rams at home, you got to fire your head coach anyway. The great Duke bothers. Should the Cowboys sign Earl Thomas? Happy 2024. Bottoms up to you, my friend. They used to only answer Earl Thomas questions if they were super chats because there were so many of them. David B. Will Lyle Collins take Terence Steele's job? Well, we did the report earlier today of Collins starting his work at left guard. I don't know if he's still going to get some run at right tackle, if that was let's start him there and then work him in another spot day 2, or if the plan is to make him your emergency option at left guard. There would be a unique irony to Terence Steele stealing Collins' job, Collins getting cut, and then after Steele gets paid, Collins coming in and stealing the job from him. It's the Simpsons meme of throwing the guy out the bar and then he's right behind him again. So pick a right tackle. LC for Lyle Collins, TS for Terence Steele. It's definitely Steele for now, but how long will that last? Can he get back on track? Go vote in the comments section. Ecuador Man AOG, would you draft Keon Coleman if he falls, or offensive line? I'd want to see what offensive linemen are there, but I would strongly consider Keon Coleman. Now, he's not the burner that I would like to add more of at wide receiver, but he's a really good football player. And it should tell you how bad Michigan State's passing game was if they had Keon Coleman and Jaden Reed together, and the quarterback transfers to Auburn and is terrible. I like Coleman a lot. I don't think he's there, but again, crazy stuff happens. Good offensive line class, too. There should be a good player for you in the back end of round 1. Chris B., I'm excited for the playoffs. With the number 2 seed, this is our best chance at an NFC Championship game. Also, if Mike fails, at least you might get a new coach. I don't disagree with that. You play better at home, very clear. It's also easier to play at home. And I don't think my path is easy as possible. I would love it if there's no upsets in the opening, round, or maybe there's one upset and the Rams or whoever goes to play the Niners and the Rams upset San Francisco. Not to play them at all. It'd be a great thing if you can take care of your own business. It's the postseason. We're not going to do this ridiculous of, that playoff game doesn't count, which has been used. No, it's a playoff game. They're all tough to win. That's what you're playing good teams in the postseason, guys. So yes, I am excited, Chris. Chris is obviously not doing that. I'm ranting about other people there, but I am excited. I think we all are. So if you like our Cowboys Report mailbags, I just saw a like and went full on robot there. Make sure you are subscribed for more free Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos. Hit that sub button right now. From CD Bam, I think this is what we're going for here. What college running backs would you draft this year? Depends on where you want to draft them. It is not a strong at the top class for running backs, and that's actually okay. Drafting a running back super early is kind of like paying a running back early. I don't like doing it. I like Trey Benson from FSU a lot. I don't know if you got to take him in the second round. I would love to wait till the third or fourth round to take somebody. I don't know what to make of Jonathan Brooks. Come off the ACL to that we won't know more about that one until post combine and maybe even beyond that. There, Braylon Allen could be a nice thunder if you want to go that route there. Cody Schrader's small but thick. He's fun. Ray Davis had a great year for Kentucky. I don't want to spend a premium pick on a back, but I think it does make sense. My theory has always been fourth round, take a running back each year and just shuffle them all out and don't pay them and spend your more premium assets on the offensive line. From Big Nooch 69, this Ben DiNucci's burner account. Is Rashaan Evans going to come back? I think the move to add Damian Wilson says no. I'm old enough to remember the war on Cowboys, Twitter and social media over the release of Rashaan Evans, who wasn't playing that much for you anyway. So, are you upset the Cowboys cut Rashaan Evans? I was surprised because there's no depth along the offensive line, or the linebacking core. Excuse me. Y for yes and for no. Sound off in the comments section. From Chris B. Think it's NFC Championship game or bust for McCarthy with the 2 seed. I kind of want to see how it all plays out, like the how if he doesn't get there. I will say this. This is where Jerry Jones wants to be. He wants to be a 10 to 12 win team every year, be in the NFC Championship conversation, be in the NFC East conversation, and have playoff games. And they've done that every year with the healthy Dak and Mike McCarthy. I don't know if he would be willing enough to take what would be a gamble on potentially being way worse to elevate that expectation, even though it's what we want to do. From some guy, how much the defense have to improve to be a Super Bowl contender? The defense has been disappointing, and like the defense we had last year. I think you need to adopt a bit of a gash or B gash approach. They did against the Lions. I thought they played. The points look very similar. I thought they were way better against Detroit than they were against Miami on defense. I think you have to get splash plays. Tackles for loss, sacks, forced fumbles, interceptions. I think those things, with the way this defense is built, would be a very positive thing and would give me some confidence if you remain aggressive on offense, Mike McCarthy. From Maffey, do we draft a tackle and move Tyler Smith to guard, or draft a guard and keep Tyler at tackle? And what if Tyron doesn't want to retire? I think I would really push Tyron to be your swing tackle, is what I would do, because he's not going to play every game. At some point, you have to operate with him as a luxury, not as an absolute, which they have not done very well the past 6 years, whatever. My answer is take the best one in the draft. If that's a guard, do that. If it's a tackle, do that. And then you have the flexibility to go either route and then make your call with Tyler Smith.